Very glad to have you join us this morning. A very wonderful Monday morning it is. And this is Razab Africa of Razab Media on Global TV here in the city of Abuja, where we discuss everything about Africa. And of course, you know that a whole lot of things are happening in Africa. Well, recently in the just begun World Cup, let me inform you that unfortunately South Africa actually lost their first game to Mexico, and it looked as though other African countries were very happy and glad with the loss that actually happened to South Africa, but maybe because of the repatriation and the go back home syndrome that South Africa has actually had in recent times, and is making some African countries to say you have to go also back home from the World Cup. But this is not supposed to be the narrative for Africa, and that is why we come every day like these from Monday to Friday weekdays to tell you about how much we can love our continent Africa. Well, I'm not here alone this morning. I am Wime Anete, and with me this morning is Simbiat Hamzat. Simbiat, good morning. Glad to have you.
Good morning, Wime. It's been a long time I've been on set,
yeah.
And I'm so glad to be here as well. Well done, and thank you for holding the fort for us while we've been away.
Okay, so maybe I should have actually started with asking you what you brought back home and how you did your celebration of Salah.
Well, the usual. This one I can't even say that this is not the Salah for meat, because everybody knows that it's actually Salah for meat. But I brought a whole lot of things, and we've shared it behind you. So,
but aside sharing a whole lot of things behind me when it has to do with the Salah, maybe let's talk about the impact that this particular one brought to the Muslims and, of course, to Nigeria in general.
Well, I won't lie, it was, I don't want to use the word difficult, but compared to the ones that we've been having in the previous years, this one was way difficult, because we had so many challenges trying to even get the RAM, trying to get the things to cook, and everything was super expensive. Not just a little percentage expensive, it was way expensive that you could, even if it wasn't compulsory like Islamically, it's something that you would comfortably cancel because of the cost, and nobody would even judge you because everybody understands.
Well, this is actually where we are this morning, but we'll dive deeply into the conversation as we continue this morning on Razab Africa show. But first and foremost, you know that we always love to take you into Africa and tell you all that is happening in Africa. And today we'll be beginning in Nigeria, where fresh debates have emerged over taxation after the International Monetary Fund advised the federal government to introduce excise duties on telecommunication services and extend value-added tax to fuel products as part of efforts to boost revenue. The IMF said additional tax reforms would help create fiscal space for development spending and social interventions, while recommending greater use of digital technology to improve tax administration and reduce revenue leakages. The recommendation has, however, sparked strong opposition from telecommunications subscribers, who argue that the sector is already burdened by more than 40 different taxes and levies. They warned that imposing new charges would further increase the cost of communications for millions of Nigerians, even as the IMF urged the government to ensure adequate social protection measures are in place before implementing any additional tax reforms. Still staying in Nigeria, and of course staying now with business, Dangote Petroleum Refinery is moving closer to becoming a publicly traded company, as it seeks to raise around $1 billion through a private shared placement. The fundraising exercise values the refinery at approximately $39 billion, with 3 billion ordinary shares being offered to investors, and demand reportedly already exceeding $2 billion. The funds are expected to support expansion projects, including the investment of logistics, storage, and distribution infrastructure, as well as future petrochemical development. Industry analysts also see the move as a major step towards the refinery's anticipated stock market listing later this year, following its rapid growth since commercial fuel products began in 2024 and its increasing role in reducing Nigeria's reliance on imported petroleum products. And from fiscal policy to migration, South Africa has stepped up the repatriation of undocumented foreign nationals following a surge in anti-immigrant protests across the country. Authorities say 2,745 foreigners have been repatriated within a week after President Cyril Ramaphosa pledged a stronger action against illegal migration while condemning mob violence targeting migrants. Thousands of foreign nationals, including citizens of Malawi, Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, have accepted voluntary repatriation programs organized by their government after facing intimidation and attacks. Although the South African government insists it will not tolerate lawlessness, many migrants say fear and uncertainty have left them with little choice but to return home. And turning to the Horn of Africa, Somaliland's president has made a landmark visit to Jerusalem following Israel's recognition of the self-declared republic as an independent state. Israeli President Isaac Herzog welcomed President Abdirahman Mohamed Abdullahi, describing the relationship as one founded on courage and realism after Israel became the first nation to formally recognize Somaliland's sovereignty. The visit has generated diplomatic reactions across the region, with Somaliland and several other countries rejecting Israel's decision and reaffirming Somaliland as part of Somalia's internationally recognized territory. Despite operating its own government and institutions since 1991, Somaliland had remained without formal international recognition until Israel's move last year. As health concerns continue to dominate parts of Central Africa, authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo are facing growing challenges in containing an Ebola outbreak amid widespread mistrust within displacement camps. Health workers say efforts to trace contacts of infected patients have been disrupted after residents rejected Ebola diagnosis and blocked response teams from carrying out investigations. Aid agencies warn that overcrowded camps with poor sanitation and limited access to health care could accelerate the spread of the virus among thousands of displaced persons. Officials also fear that misinformation and repeated attacks on treatment centers could undermine efforts to contain one of the region's most serious public health emergencies. And now, as we end, back here in Nigeria, welcome, where hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets on Democracy Day to protest worsening economic hardship and growing insecurity, turning a day meant to celebrate democratic progress into a call for urgent government action. Protesters in Lagos marched with placards and chanted slogans demanding solutions to the rising cost of living, unemployment, and what they described as the inability of democracy to deliver meaningful improvement to the lives of ordinary citizens. The demonstration formed part of a broader nationwide action by civil society groups marking the June 12th anniversary, widely regarded as a symbol of Nigeria's democratic struggle, while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his Democracy Day address urged Nigerians to remain united and continue believing in democratic institutions. Many protesters insisted that more than 2 decades of uninterrupted civilian rule must now translate into improved security, economic stability, and better living conditions for the people.